Hello there, America. This is a video to let anybody who has a pair of these Samsung Tower speakers, you can see the other one over there. Anybody who has these speakers, I was going to give you a tutorial on how to get this front cover off if you ever need to maintenance or access these front speakers for any reason. My speakers are only, I don't know, they're probably 7 months old, give or take. But I put them through a lot of abuse. I won't lie. I play them really loud. They sound great. They're one of the cleanest speakers I've ever heard in my life. The problem is this subwoofer down here on my main speakers quit working. This one right here. You got your tweeter up top. You got your mid range, and then you got your subwoofer coil at the bottom. Well, this one here quit playing. I would push on it, it would play just like suddenly, and then it would quit again. So basically, I had to get this speaker out of this box to find out what was wrong with it and what I had to do to fix it. I was going to rebuild the whole thing if need be, but luckily it didn't come to that, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But well, basically what did happen was there's where the two wires come from the coil at the bottom down by the voice coil, and they come up and they connect to your positive and negative to where you hook up your wires from your from where it's getting its power source from. It actually, where it solders onto the back of that board, it actually broke right there. I'm sure probably from it was like it's a stranded wire, so most of the strands were broke. There was only a couple like hanging on, and so if you moved it around, it would play very briefly and then it would stop again. So I didn't have to rebuild the whole speaker, but I wouldn't have known that without getting this out of this box. There's no way to look at any of this without getting it out. So the only way to do that, the screws are up behind this right here. So, up behind this case. So in order to do that, you have to get this off of here. So basically the first thing you're going to do, and I'm not going to take it all the way back apart because as you can see, I've already like glued mine back together, but you can see where it cracked it. That's how hard they put this thing in there. And you're not going to believe what it's put in there with, but we'll get to that here in a second. But you see it cracked it all the way from up here all the way down to here, and then this one's cracked right here. But anyway, so what you have to do first is you start here on the side, and there's these little rubber grommet things. There's two on each side, on the side of the speaker. You take these two out here, and then take the two out over there on the other side, and there's screws behind there. You just pull those little Phillips head screws out. All the screws in this are exactly the same size, so you don't have to worry, except for the ones that hold your main power supply carries down. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get that far. But so anyway, basically what you'll do is take these two out on the side, two on either side. Sorry. Then you're going to come around the back here, and sorry, I got it upside down here, and then there we go. And then you're going to have two at the top, and there's one on either side down here at the bottom that you're going to have to take out. Okay, when you get those removed, of course you have to unhook all this stuff here, obviously, unhook your other speaker and your power supply. And then when you get all the screws out of this, it will kind of, right here, if you just put your fingernails in there, sorry, if you just get your fingernails like right in there, and just kind of lift up on it, this whole thing will swing up. It's going to swing upwards like this, like this. And then as soon as it comes up, it's got some clips right here. It kind of just like loops underneath it and grabs a hold. So if you just kind of swing it all the way up here. Now be careful, right here, there's two USB ports on the side of these speakers. So when you lift this up, there'll actually be a screw, another Phillips screw, same size as these, holding this in here. You can't miss it. Make sure to pay attention to which way it is, which way it's facing. That's going to be important when you put it back together, because if you put it in upside down, well, you won't be able to access your ports, obviously, so you'll know it's in upside down. I don't think it'll let you put it in that way anyway, but be mindful of how you take all this stuff apart. I took pictures as I went along to make sure that I didn't mess anything up and everything got put back where it's supposed to be. So moving on, once you get this top off here, now once you remove this screw, the cable, the little board itself, the little circuit board that holds these two USB ports, it'll stay inside the case. So just kind of set it off to the side. It'll be on a ribbon cable coming up, and it'll just be kind of hanging out here. And take this top off here. Next step is when you get it off, you'll see 4 gold screws that hold the whole power supply down. Make sure this thing is unplugged before you go entering this thing, okay? And make sure that you're grounded at all times. Okay, so basically, once you take this off, you'll see a whole power supply, and then there'll be a cable that runs from down here at the bottom of the power supply. It's going to run from here to this front display right here. Okay, and it's a small green ribbon cable, and you'll just pull it out. You'll see where it just kind of pushes in if you just pull it right out. I mean, it just slides out. And then just make sure, once again, take pictures of everything before you enter this box to make sure that you get it all right. But anyway, so you just unplug, you just pull that out of the ribbon wire holder and proceed on to take 4 screws out. There'll be 4 gold screws. There's 2 on either side. And there's L rails right here. Let me see if I can explain what I'm talking about. Right here, there's going to be an L, okay? It'll be screwed in the top of the speaker, and it runs all the way down the side here. That's what your power supply will be screwed through. It screws down to the box, then the power supply screws onto those 2 rails. There's one on either side, okay? And there's a screw that runs from the back side to this case right here, okay, right in here. So once I got to that point, I thought, great, you know, I'm getting somewhere. So I took those 2 screws out. You have to remove those, by the way. You'll remove the 2 screws that go in this way, okay, into the back of this case right here, the front cover, I'm sorry. So you remove those, the screw on either side, one on either side of the speaker. Then once you get those out, let me think here. Okay, now once you get those out, here's what you're gonna have to do. I took the power supply and everything out of the speaker because I didn't want it to be banging around when I laid the speaker over or so on and so forth when I was moving it around trying to wrestle with this thing.